The general principles of differentiated instruction include respectful tasks, flexible grouping, and continual assessment. Including respectful tasks during class time is important because students need to feel respected regardless of the task level they are completing. It is important to bring all students on board regardless of what they are working on. And don't forget to give the students a task that is interesting. Furthermore, teachers should examine strengths and weaknesses of each student prior to forming groups. Groups should be formed and dissolved as a student's needs change. Flexible grouping without tracking is a method to improve student achievement levels without keeping students in the same pull-out group. Continual assessment allows teachers to assess student comprehension and ability levels throughout the year. Differentiated instruction can be better suited to a student's needs if the teacher is aware of a student's current achievement level. Differentiating should take place during the content, process, and product phases. The environment of the classroom should support differentiated instructional methods. We will discuss content, process, product, and the classroom environment in greater detail in the next few slides. Content can be defined as what the student needs to learn or how the student will gain access to the information. An example of differentiating content is using reading materials at varying readability levels, as well as putting materials on tape. Presenting ideas through both auditory and visual means may help students who can't read due to a learning disability. Additionally, using spelling or vocab lists according to the readiness levels of the student is helpful. Meeting with small groups of students who need reteaching may help struggling learners. Small group meetings may also extend the skills of advanced learners, such as those who are gifted. The process can be understood as the activities in which the student engages in, with the hope of making sense of or mastering the content. Educators can provide differentiated instruction during the process phase by using tiered activities through which all learners work with the same important understandings and skills, but proceed with different levels of support, challenge, or complexity. By providing interest centers that encourage students to explore subsets of the class topic of a particular interest to them. And by developing personal agendas to be completed either during specific agenda time or as students complete other work early, and offering manipulatives or other hands-on supports for students who need them, and varying the length of time a student may take to complete a task in order to provide additional support for a struggling learner or to encourage an advanced learner to pursue a topic in greater depth. Culminating projects that ask students to rehearse, apply, and extend what he or she has learned in a unit allows the student to produce a product. Differentiated instruction, according to a product, would include giving students options of how to express required learning. For example, creating a puppet show, writing a letter, or developing a mural with labels. Also, using rubrics that match or extend students' varied skill levels, and allowing students to work alone or in groups on their products, as well as encouraging students to create a product of their own, as long as the assignment contains required elements. The classroom environment is how it works and feels to the learner. It is critical to make sure there are places in the room for students to work quietly without distraction, as well as places that invite students to collaborate. A welcoming and supportive classroom can be achieved by providing materials that reflect a variety of cultures and home settings. Setting clear guidelines for independent work that matches individual needs. Developing routines that allow students to get the help when teachers are busy with other students and cannot help them immediately. And helping students understand that some learners need to move around to learn, while others do better sitting quietly. Next, we will discuss student learning needs, which will include interests, learning profiles, and readiness. In order to gauge student readiness, an educator must assess a student's prior knowledge, learning skills, work habits, and experiences. It is important to make the topic a student is learning interesting enough that the students don't want to disregard it. To do so, addressing a student's personal, social, and career interests may be helpful. A student profile is a vital component of differentiated instruction. Knowing the student and creating learning profile cards based on what is known can help an educator understand a student and how to adjust curriculum to suit a particular learning need. The professional learning community, or PLC, includes every professional in the building. The PLC model occurs when every member is driven by exploring three crucial questions, which are: what do we want each student to learn? How will we know when each student has learned it? And how will we respond when a student experiences difficulty in learning? Another helpful model to include in a differentiated instructional approach is the RTI, or Response to Intervention. Although originally designed for special education, the RTI provides a practical model for continuous progress monitoring, carefully tailored instruction, and frequent, accelerated interventions that move students on a strategic path to success. The RTI can be set up as a tiered system that allows students to move up or down a tier depending on their needs. Paraprofessionals and special educators may intervene and assist students at various intervention levels. RTI can help teachers determine if students are learning as expected or, if not, whether they require early intervention services. It can also help teachers determine student eligibility for special education services. In other words, the practice of providing high-quality instruction and interventions matched to student need, monitoring progress frequently to make decisions about changes in instruction or goals, and applying child response data to important educational decisions. Please note the following references used for this presentation. Thank you for listening. I look forward to seeing you apply your improved, differentiating instructional skills.